Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, guys. Happy New Year to you all. Hope we're all doing well to start the year. I'm looking forward to what's going to be another massive year on the chart, so appreciate you all those of you who are on the stream early, nice and early. Without further ado, guys, let's get underway. And as always, good morning, good afternoon, and wherever you are around the world, a very good evening to you all. Hope you're doing well, guys. So good to be back. First stream back. We have been actually with the members. We've been on the charts the last few days, analyzing a few things. I haven't personally taken a trade. I have mentioned to the guys this week's a little bit still of a feeling out sort of phase. The volume's a little bit sketchy. We did call a few nice trades though, and we also did some sim practice in the meantime as well. So good to be back though, guys. As always, we're going to do what we do best. We're going to analyze the charts. We've got a few little things now that we're looking at a little bit differently these days, due to some testing that I did over the holiday period. So more to do with gold, and as you can see, I'm actually on gold to begin with, so hence gold will be my focus throughout this year. So we'll be also keeping an eye on GJ, and I will take trades on GJ, but the main focus this year will definitely be gold. So I will analyze gold first now moving forward, and then move on to GJ. So guys, without further ado, if you've not done so, make sure to smash that like button, give the stream a like, say good day in the chat, and we'll get underway with the analysis and begin with the beast that is gold. Good to be back, guys. All right, so looking at gold and looking at the weekly time frame, as we always do to begin with, we can see the previous weekly candle was a bullish candle, albeit quite a weak bullish candle with a long wick in either direction. So kind of an indecisive candle, but it did form support, and it did close bullish, engulfing to that previous candle. Off the back of that, we are forming an inside bar candle. If we were to begin to break above that previous weekly candle, break above the current weekly candle's high, there's a high probability at that point there we could continue to the upside. On to the daily time frame, and above that point there, it also looks very good for some potential entries. Now, one thing that I'm doing slightly differently these days, not so focused about the structure at all on the daily anymore, more concerned by the candles themselves and where we are on the chart. So what I can see is that previous candle did close back, relatively weak bullish candle, long upper wick rejecting the resistance at the previous weekly candle's high. Based off that though, still looking like further continuation to the upside potentially. However, current candle has now what's created a low wick, is now popping up towards its own high. Let's just mark in the low of the current candle. Let's see what potentially we might have below that level, because obviously we got that candle from yesterday. If we do begin to break our own low based off the higher time frame, we could potentially come back down towards that 26-36 sort of region. So we are, I'm going to say, looking at it to slightly more to the upside at the moment, based off that daily, and also based off the way the weekly is forming. Now on to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour, now we're going to look at the structure. What we can see is, I'd argue we're bullish. You don't have two consecutive candles pulling back in the opposite direction. This is the lowest point of the impulse to the downside. but it does resemble a swing. So I'm going to consider it bullish. As we can see, we've tapped into that resistance only to reject. So it is a key level. We're going to mark it in to begin. Change it to gray. And we're going to mark in the most recent support. We've still got 4 minutes left of the current candle. We're about to form and close a nice strong bullish candle. Let's just mark in the high, which is likely going to be resistance in the minor time frame of the current 4-hour candle. So using counter probabilities on our side, along with the structure, potentially we could look for buys above that 26.53.11. Now this is where things change a little bit, guys. I'm still looking at the 30-minute time frame. Haven't changed that. However, probably more focused on the 15-minute now on gold. Through the back testing over the period, over the holiday period, I found that the 15 is quite a strong enough catalyst in most cases for me to trust it, using obviously the 30-minute as well and the 5-minute to add confluence. But what we can see, the 30-minute structure wise, we do remain bullish from this big impulse to the upside. So at the moment, I'm more probably interested in looking for the buy options. Let's just now adjust these zones a little bit. Now, based on the 15, I'm just going to adjust it to that point there. Now what we can see is on the 15, we've got this minor resistance just here to the left hand side, which we have broken above, but we have not. I'm just going to draw this in a bit deeper, but we continue to wick back below and fail to close above it. So to me, it's a pretty significant level at this point, and I would like now for price to actually start to close above it before we can look for solid entries. And at that point there's a high probability that we could come up to 26.55 roughly. So buys above. Now further options, definitely below the support. We've got just under 3 minutes left. If we were to come back down to the current daily candles low and begin to break the low and close below it, I'd definitely be keen to look for options to get involved in some sells. Seeing we do now have that higher high, higher low. Well, not the high on a daily, but we've got the 4-hour counter probabilities to the upside. So we don't really have much need. If we were to continue bullish, come back down and break the current daily candles low, if we do so, there's a good chance we can get involved in some sell options. Now onto the 5-minute quickly. Got a little bit of resistance. We're starting to pop above it, so we need to see a closure at this rate. I want to see the closure above 26.52.65. If we do so, I may look to take a small entry. Now doesn't look the best on the 15. 15 we've not yet had any sort of pullback, so it looks to be exhausting at this rate. So therefore, what we could also be looking for is, if price does begin to reject, form another support below or around that resistance, then we could potentially be looking at some sell options from higher up too, guys. So that would be the plan moving forward on gold. And obviously buys, if we do just drop back down towards 27.47 region, I could also entertain some potential buy options from that point there. So hopefully that makes sense. Once again, guys, there is no rush to get involved. We analyze, we simply wait for the confirmation, and then we trade if and when the time comes. Very simple process and very easy for the majority to follow. So we'll just wait a minute for gold to do its thing. And GJ, as I can see, it's still not quite closing below the support that I have marked in on a chart I sent into the members. So GJ doesn't look likely to give us an option just yet. No, what I was looking for prior to the stream was a 5-minute closure below, because we not yet closed below on the 15 or the 30, closed below that support. So we don't really have anything just yet on GJ. We'll do the analysis shortly. Just keep an eye on gold for 30 more seconds, just in case if it pops up. And maybe considering some options to buy it. It doesn't look likely at this rate though. In the meantime, guys, quickly let me say good day to those of you who are in the chat already. Beats, appreciate you, my friend. You'd be the first one. You're Franco or Carl. There he is, Carl. Happy New Year to you, mate. Mr. Tommy Joe and brother, hope you're well. And Astral, good to see you back on the stream. Yes, it's been a long time. Glad to have you here. All right, so gold has not closed exactly where I wanted to close. GJ, let's do the analysis now on GJ. All right, starting at that weekly time frame, and what we can see is we are forming. I would now look to the current weekly candle for its direction as opposed to the previous. The reason being is because if we were to use the fib, we can now see we're above the 50%. Not only that, we have spent a fair bit of time above it. We have formed support above it on the minor time frames, and we continue to remain above that level. So why I'm looking at that is because I can now look for potential levels where we could pull back to the former support based off this higher time frame to potentially head back up and retest our own high. And if we begin to break those levels, they could also be potential levels that we could look to get involved in sells to take it back down to the next logical level of support. Onto the daily time frame. Once again, a bit more concerned by the candles now as opposed to the structure itself. The previous candle closed back a bearish candle with a long upper wick. So if we were to break below that previous candle, high probability we could make another move back down towards that 195 sort of region based off the daily time frame. Now onto the 4 hour, and we are approaching a support on the 4 hour, very close to it at the moment. Structure wise, we are definitely bullish by the looks of it. It's actually from this big impulse to the upside over here. So bullish, we have the current candle almost engulfing that previous candle, but we're going to have some resistance at this point here, which will mark in shortly on the 30-minute time frame. And we can see just now we have just recently formed another resistance that provides me a potential entry point to the upside. So that's the first potential entry, guys. If we begin to pop above the current daily candle's high, then at that point there, the high probability of clean trap to the left, and with the structure being bullish, that we could make a move to the upside. Now, further options on GJ. I'm gonna draw in a few zones just here. I'm gonna mark in that zone just there. I'm gonna mark in a zone a little bit lower down. Now, if we were to hop back down to this 197, 150, bounce off it, form some support, maybe a little bit of structure on even a 5-minute, closing a 30-minute back bullish, that could provide us a potential entry point or entry signal, a catalyst to look for a buy from lower down. So as far as a level, definitely considering that as a level to get involved in some potential buys, guys. Now that's the buy options. As for the sells, if we do pull back towards the current daily counts high, even if we were to break it, only to close back below it, I'm going to be looking for rejection and looking for a potential option to take a sell back down from below that 197.53 to 197.50 sort of region. So sells below would be a option. Now I'd also consider, I know we've got a bit of support here in the 30 and the 15, but it looks other than that quite clean. So if we were to close below, hop back down to this 197.15 and reject, only to close below it 197.10, may consider a sell at that point. Got pretty clean traffic to the left, the catalyst being the strong closure below the bodies of the candles to the left, but also back below this resistance a little bit further to the left hand side. So for me, that is a level I would likely consider looking for a sell below as well on the GJ. So look, guys, hopefully that made sense, and if it did, smash that like button. You know what to do, guys. Let's get it. Let's get the stream number up. It's good to see there's quite a few of you on here nice and early for a change. So it's good to have you guys here. We're going to rock it this year. We're going to have a big year, guys. So going to look out for a lot of content to be dropped this year. Going to be a lot of reels, IG, YouTube. It's going to be some longer length videos as well, a couple a month minimum. So look out for those. Alrighty, guys. Meantime, once again, Beats, Carl, Tommy, Astral, Leo, happy new year to you as well. Sean, good to see you, my friend. Hope you had a good new year and break, and Marvy as well. I hope you are all well, my friend. Hope you had a wonderful new year. Next, appreciate you. Welcome. So a few new things with gold. Now, when gold is trending, I am more than willing to trust the 5-minute time frame to look for potential entries. I wouldn't call it trending right now. Slowly trickling back up. Using a 15 and the 5 as the added confluence. 5 minutes the catalyst prior, but what I want to see prior to it is some sort of confirmation on the 15-minute time frame. So that is something a little bit new. Entries at the 4-hour zones on limit orders. Now, there was one particular entry I was taking last year, gold popping. It's all good. This is, again, a little bit of lack of volume in the markets. Doesn't take much to push it at the moment. So for me, I don't even have a 5-minute closure above at the moment. It's a little bit tricky. Getting back to what I was saying, which was, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, the 5-minute can be the catalyst on gold. This is a little bit tricky though, this one. This one, tough to really trust at this stage with that weakness in that previous candle and the weakness on the M15 time frame. But it's all well and good, guys. Members, Franco, good day to you. Welcome, mate. Great to see you on the stream. Sean, yep. You had a good time. All good, mate, for me. Just nothing special. Pretty quiet one, to be honest. Members. Where's that link? All right, link posted, members. Now I'm gonna give TikTok a crack. We'll just see. No real expectations on there. So some of you may have noticed that so far, the first few proper trading days, I mean, market's been open from the 2nd of January, but the first proper few trading days, they've been a little bit quite erratic, to be honest. Members and I were taking a look at EU the other day and bought a very nice buy limit order on EU, and that was moving a lot like gold at the time. But it was just skipping pips. Can't quite remember where it was, but what it was doing was popping up 4 or 5 pips, popping back down 3 or 4 pips, and then just made its massive move in about 10 seconds. So we've got a lot of little gaps in the market as well at the moment. That is also perhaps due to the lack of liquidity in the market. You can see on GJ just here, quite unusual to have these sort of gaps right now. We've got a gap up just here. If you look closely, there's gaps everywhere, which is quite unusual, but it is due to the lack of liquidity at the moment. So be very careful trading this week. That is all I would say, to be honest, guys. Have a plan, stick to it, and behave. Next week is when we go full margin. Just kidding. Sean was working DJ at a pub, so it wasn't too bad. Nice one. Yeah, it would have been a bit of fun. Sketchmas, happy new year to you, mate. Welcome. Glad to be back, Nax. Yeah, glad. I'm happy to be back. Be happier next week. From personal experience, I was explaining to the members, to be honest, guys, usually I don't start trading until the 15th or 16th of January. I don't usually bother. Reason being is because, again, I doubt the liquidity. What you often see is candles will do a bit of this, where they'll pop straight up, pop straight down, back up, back down. Not feeling great about it, and then it starts to pop back up again. It's just a bit all over the shop due to the lack of liquidity. So I generally start trading around the 15th, 16th of January, but thought I'll start a little bit earlier this year. Just look at the charts, get a little bit of a feel for it. Gold pumping just now. TikTok, VMH, welcome. I remember that name. Mahir, Jacob, Darren, Rafad, welcome guys. Yeah, so I thought I'd just jump on, to be honest, this week, just to get a little bit of a feel for it again. The live sort of calls and that. Crispy Honeybee, if I'm ready to buy full margin on my demo. There you go. Someone's just going full margin on their demo account. Told you, mate, full margin starts next week. Once we got the volume back in, the liquidity back into the market. Lau, good morning to you, mate. Welcome back to the stream. I appreciate you for sticking around throughout the break. Rowan, Jeff, TBL, welcome guys. Guys, on both YouTube and TikTok, there is quite a few of you who still don't sub or follow, so make sure you're doing so. And expect a lot more content to come this year. Alright, GJ, so we're approaching that level now. We're approaching a potential entry point. Now we need to wait for some sort of confirmation. Would there have been an entry at this point here? Well, obviously there could have, because it would have made the move if you had taken it. Some of you may have. I'm looking at thinking, well, we hadn't quite cleared this support. You see just here, we keep closing above it. That's a level I previously marked in and sent in when I sent the chart into the members. So therefore, it's quite tricky. And the 5 minute, not even a 5 minute closure below. That's what I was waiting for prior to the stream. Never eventuated, so now one more thing guys to consider, especially on gold and USD pairs. We do have the inauguration of Mr. Donald Trump on the 20th, and I believe that will definitely impact the markets. Could be kind of one of those buy the news and dump it. What do I say? Buy the rumor, sell the news, but it's obviously not a rumor. But I think there'll be quite a lot of exuberance in the market, and I would not be surprised if it come crashing down, not necessarily to crazy levels, but I mean maybe back to where it came from. So that particular day could get a bit nasty to trade. Smarties, good morning to you. FFP on TikTok. Joseph, Prabhu, AU, Missy. Welcome guys, welcome. DK and Benny. What you use the live stream, Bojan? Right now I'm just using TikTok Studio. On YouTube, I use Streamlabs stuff. I'm actually using 2 streaming platforms to stream simultaneously. I can use the one, but I can't quite figure it out how to do it properly. So, all right, we're gonna mark in this resistance just now. It's not a 4-hour level, so we'll keep it in the blue color. Bojan, no worries. And what we could also be looking for is rejection. If we reject, we pop up, or even if we reject just now and start popping back below at 26.51, this could be options to sell it. But further options could arise if we start to reject 26.54.87, that region. Definitely look for an option to sell it, and we could have further options for the buys above that resistance. Now, seeing with straight bullish coming from the lows of the daily, I would like to see some sort of correction prior to looking for entries above that 26.56. Trigger in some sellers, grab some more liquidity from the market, and if we were to pop back above, got some very clean traffic to the left, that's when I feel a little bit more comfortable. Otherwise, to be honest, if it did just pop straight up, I kind of feel like I'm a little bit late to the party. If I wanted to get in, I probably should have got in somewhere lower now. So yeah, so that's why I want to see a bit of a pullback. Sharif, good day to you. Beam luck, Andre, welcome guys. So who's pumped for the new year? Let me know. YouTube chat, TikTok, who's pumped? Sean, nice one, mate. Nice one. Hope it's all been going well for you. Sharif, how are you, mate? Hopefully catch you on the NY call later on, the members. Gabby, welcome back to stream. We missed you. Appreciate you. Welcome back to you as well. John, been a really good start so far. Great to hear it. Marvi, 2025 going to be a good year at ACT. It definitely will be, mate. Look out for big things. More sim sessions, more live sessions with you guys. A lot more content, like, as I mentioned. And gonna be calling for you guys anyway for the VIP. I'll be looking to call a lot more trades this year, and on the stream as well when they present. Sean, start the year with new outlook in life. Nice one. Jo, welcome to you. Seb, Esco, Sync Trading FX. Thank you for liking the live. West Hi Tien, welcome to you. Alright, so GJ's at a level, and the good thing is it's tapped into it. Notice again. What have we got just here, guys? I know what you're gonna say, a bullish candle. What's actually bearish now? Going to this gap. Got another little gap just there. So again, a lack of liquidity in the market causes these little gaps in the market at the moment. Makes things a little bit more unpredictable than what they normally would be this time of year. Well, I mean, during the year. So the good thing is we have tapped down into this level that I want price to tap into before looking for potential buy options. So I now need to wait for a confirmation, a catalyst. So what I wait for on GJ, a 30-minute candle to close back bullish. Within it, I want to see something, because we're not going to have my number one catalyst. Well, if we do, it's not going to give us an entry, because the engulfing candle would mean we'd have what? It's not that big a stop loss. It looks a lot bigger than what it is. But either way, there's no margin. So if we were to close, this is free education. This is why we're here, guys. If we were to close, what the hell is that? Not like that. For instance, like so. And then on the 15, only for it to be followed by a little bit of this on the next 15-minute candle. I'm gonna close the M30 back. Still a strong bullish candle. Prior to it, we have tapped into this level. That could be enough of a catalyst, strong enough catalyst to look for lower to form, and then entry as it begins to break above that 30-minute / 15-minute pause, 30-minute candle high. And that is something you could potentially be looking at on the GJ at the moment. What am I looking at? West Titanium. Preferably gold. And I'm looking now to see, it's sort of in the middle of no man's land at the moment. What I'd like to see is for price to pop up a little bit higher, look for sellers from higher up, or for it to make a relatively clean move down. I could almost begin to adjust this zone. So for instance, if we did make a clean move down, form a support even within my zone, as long as I got the margin and so long as we got clean traffic, I can look for a buy to take it back up. On the confirmation of forming that higher low, where it could potentially happen is we've got this resistance, this zone to the left. Could really happen anywhere within this blue zone. But that is something I could potentially be looking at just now. Alright, no worries. Kenneth, good day to you. Thank you for following, you guys. One Boss and Sync Trading Effects, thank you. Nags, yeah, where is he? Where is Rick? He was quiet all holidays. Hopefully he didn't knock himself out drinking. Shouldn't joke. Should not joke, but I've seen his stash. Did show it to us on a members NY call. Got a fair collection. Spirits. So maybe he's still on a holiday break at the moment. How did he forget to rate his collection over the holidays? I'm sure he rated it himself. I'm sure he'll be back at some point, surely. Again, this is... We saw this, I'm pretty sure this happened yesterday as well, when I was on a call with the members. Where price will make a clear move and then pretty much correct it on the next candle. So it's a little bit all over the shop at the moment. Just gonna remove this zone a bit higher up. We don't really need to worry about it. If Rick probably still celebrating Christmas, he probably doesn't realize that it's New Year's. You're probably right. He's probably still waiting to celebrate it. Matthew Walker, thank you for the follow. Kenneth, welcome. P5 NJSH, Ria, welcome to you. FA, welcome. So I hope you guys are pumped to be back. I most definitely am. You know, all good, mate. Jaberly, sell. Not just yet. No, like I mentioned, gold, we're kind of in the middle of this minor range, but the most recent resistance. I don't yet have any confirmation to sell it, so I'm not interested in doing that. Nor do I have any real confirmation to buy it just yet. I was wanting to see a closure above. I've got the closure above, but this is the candle that's pretty much made the move, so it's too late for the buys. And the sellers, I just need to wait for it to set up for the time being. Oh, beats? Oh, okay. Hopefully it all is good then. Fair enough. I haven't heard from him throughout. I mean, we've been on quite a few sim sessions with the members group. Yeah, but didn't catch him on any of them. Mr. Phil, welcome back to you too, my friend. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Kenneth, for the follow. Raymark, gold. Yes, this is gold. I'm waiting for... See how this pull back plays out. And if we do form support, I'm going to look to buy it. Now, otherwise, like I mentioned before, if we form support, reject, close below support, back in the range below, I'm also going to be looking to sell it. So I'm going to leave this area marked in for the time being, this zone. If we begin to burst through this resistance that we've just recently broken shift it down to that point, see how price reacts to that. So we do so, I'm just going to leave it in. Thanks, did chat a few days ago on IG. Oh, nice one. Raymark, may you join. You're on the call, my friend. You're on the TikTok stream. If you're interested in knowing a little bit more about what I do, just send me a DM, my friend. So I'm streaming on live on YouTube as well, guys. So if you can't find me on TikTok, follow me on YouTube. YouTube is where you'll get a lot of content. You will get most of it on TikTok as well moving forward. And thank you for liking and more thank you for following. Name YouTube. My profile name. Can't send links into the TikTok chat. I think they assume everything's a scam on TikTok. Unless you, maybe I just need to dance around with, you know, maybe I'll slip a nipple or something. You'll follow, nice one. Andrew McGurl, is this gold? It most definitely is. Oh, GJ rejecting. Yes, Sean. GJ come back down again. Sierra, you have bad support. All right, so DJ is getting interesting. We have grabbed liquidity from the upside, only to reject. We don't yet really have any pause, but we've got it on the 5-minute. Pretty strong rejection just now on GJ. You're looking around a 22, 23 pip stop for around that sort of return, potentially. I like this rejection though, as just far as a pure price action catalyst. But I want it to close below. Like I mentioned before, the plan was, when I did the analysis, I want it to close below this zone. Because then we're back below these bodies that are candles to the left as well. And that would be my catalyst, and then I'm not so concerned by this wick. So if it happens in the next 2 minutes, I may honor the analysis and potentially look for a trade entry. So keep a bit of an eye on it. And by no means am I going full margin this week. That's next week. I'm just kidding, guys. I never go full margin. But I'm going very low risk to begin the week. Very, very low risk to begin the year. Like, I'm talking about not even half. Because I just don't like the liquidity or lack thereof it. Like I mentioned, we are seeing little gaps popping in and out all over the shop. I don't want to get tagged in by spread or by a gap. So therefore I'm going very low risk on any entry. Andrew McGorrell, nothing on gold, looking at GJ at the moment. Sell, Ali, thank you for the follow. Alright, so this stop loss is winding as we speak. You're looking roughly probably about 27 pips. What I suggest is follow whatever the low is on your broker. We need an upper wick. Now, what I like to see is price pull back up, tapping into the zone, reject, and if it begins to break zone low, the previous counter's low, there'd be an option to sell it. That way, you could also manage the trade quite easily. You could really just adjust the stop loss to just back above the zone if that was to be the case. So I want it to create a low wick. I want it to leave a low wick. Hasn't got one. No, there we go. There's the gap. So tough. This is really tough trading this time of year, guys. IC markets doesn't really appear to have a gap, but it's popped straight down anyway without the wick. Previous candle's got a small lower wick. Alright, so I want to follow this a little bit. I want to follow price action. I want to see if we pop up a bit higher, begin to reject and break our own low. Then we may, just may be able to get in some GJ sells. Nothing on gold, that zone remains, we're still hovering above it. Alright, we don't have the gap here. So apologies, but we're going to switch over to... this broker, Forex.com. Alright, this is good. This is good. So we've got that pullback now. We're tapping back into, or pretty much tapping into that level. Could be worth a small entry if it breaks own low. Now you probably, I'd just go a small stop loss and have it just a little bit above, probably around the open of that previous candle. And this is like a filler trade. I'm not, again, it's a very small entry for me. Spreads are very low on IC markets, which is fantastic. 197.035. As a potential entry point. AA, yes it is gold, yep. Christy, good day to you. Let's just move these. Alright. This is good, because what we have done at the open of the new candle, we've popped straight down. So therefore, now that we've created a lower wick already, if we are to continue bullish, we don't really have much of a need to pull back and break our own low. What we've also done is tap back into this level of support. So if we were to begin to reject and come back to break our own low, as far as a price action counts, that's a pretty strong one to suggest that we could make the move down towards this level here on 96.90 roughly. So we could look for some sells. Again, let's go very low risk. And that's what I'm currently looking at, my friends. If you could smash the like button, please do so. It's a pretty small stop loss, and you could even drag that down towards the entry count high. It does get triggered in. Minute looks pretty good. Now 5 minutes about to close a weak bullish candle, so that's an even greater confluence because it is minor support. And if we were to continue bullish again, not much need for us to break it. Once we start to pop below it, we've got some clean traffic to the left. Mohammed, thank you for the follow. Welcome, Freds. The Fleetwood. Zazy, welcome to you. Lucas, thank you for the follow. So YouTube, you guys are awfully quiet. Anyone currently looking at any trades? We have 24 minutes until session open.
Hi, Justin.
Just Phil, how are you, brother?
I'm doing alright. How about you?
All good, mate. Welcome back.
Thank you.
What's the deal so far today? What are you looking at?
Looking for some shots on EU.
You?
Yeah,
Yep.
but the candles are just pushing down no upper wicks and
Yeah.
not looking so good. However, I'm looking at the 2 hours. Let's see how it closes. I might take a limit order on that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. At the if it closes below.
Yeah.
Nice one. That makes sense. Yeah, it's not really giving, as far as price action, it's not really giving much of an opportunity, is it? Leaving long wicks, no upper wick. Sorry, the 4 hour.
Yeah, on the 2. Yeah. The 4 hour would close in engulfing, and
Yep.
on the structure side, the structure looks okay.
Yep, I agree.
The structure is okay. So if the 2 hour as well, the structure also looks alright. So if it would close on that, if that one would close just below the loaded, then I think it would be good to go.
I agree. Yeah.
However, it would need to get like maybe a really good upper week.
Yeah, even if you look for the continuation trade, that would be good.
Yeah. Because if also you look at it on the weekly looks, I think on the weekly I was expecting something like that, and since it's already rejecting from that very long up week, I think it will continue the bearish movement.
Yep, grab liquidity once again from the upside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It does look like it could potentially continue down. And also, fundamentally, I think it's still likely to continue as well with all what's going on. All right. The GJ popping back up. Sorry, mate. Yeah, GJ, I'm likely going to remove the auto in a minute and wait for the 15-minute to close. I want to see it close below this support. What would be nice if it wicks up even higher into it, leaving a long up wick, and if it closed weak bullish, then I could reset the order as long as the new candle has an upper wick. Sell, SLB, buy or sell. At the moment, I'm looking for a sell, but I'm about to remove my order and wait patiently yet again. Just removed it. Sorry, Phil, you're about to say something?
No, it's not. I think that was all.
Yep.
Also, I'm looking at EJ anyways. EJ, looking to get some buys on EJ, but currently it's retracing. If it will break the current high, I'm looking at it on the 1 hour. So I'm looking maybe above this high here.
Yeah, above here.
Yeah, above them.
Yeah.
not so keen on the sales side because of how it's been moving lately and the structure, the way it looks on my time on the 2 hour as well and the 1 hour. I don't think though it has this kind of deceleration, like it was moving up with so much momentum, but suddenly there is this kind of slowdown. So
Yeah.
after creating this kind of minor structure, if it was to break this high, was to move above this high here, I would look for some buy options as well.
Yeah, I agree.
However, I'm not so keen on the sales because of the way it's looking. So
Yeah, it's also, sorry to cut you off, it's also tapped into target.
yeah.
So really there's better options to sell it probably below support, and then you're running straight into another support. So
And if you look to the left, that area where it tapped into, it has a lot of rejection.
Yeah.
Then even way beyond that, if you go again further to the left, you see it has a lot of choppy area there. So
fair enough.
If I were to sell it, it would definitely not be today. I would need to have like a clean move to the downside. Then we can look to get involved when it resets. Maybe it comes back for the retracement and all of that. But for now, I'm not so keen on the sell on that one.
No, I agree. Looks similar to GJ as far as the minor time frame price action. Speaking of, I see it's rejecting, so could have the order set back in, guys. I'm gonna tentatively reset it using magic keys. I set it up the same spot as before, around 35, 197.035. We were to close like we are just now, wait for a bit of an upper wick on a new candle, look for a potential entry. 5 minutes pulling back, create potentially another lower high. So we could have that sell option presenting again shortly, guys. Davey, thank you for the follow. Nags, you're looking at GJ as well. Carl in EJ sells from 163.602. Got a runner still open. Nice one. Nice one, mate. Good work. Nags, yep, was breaking into it and is now rejecting again. Alright guys, so keep an eye on this. Thank you to who sent me that thing on TikTok. No idea, to be honest. I appreciate it. I just don't understand how it all works, but I appreciate whoever sent it to me. Thank you, I appreciate it. Let me know, by the way, because the name's gone from the app. Alright, we are flipping. So we can watch it a little bit in 5 minutes now. We are pretty much confirming that lower high, rejecting this zone to the left. Oh, it's coming down with some momentum. Similar thing happened yesterday on the call with the members. In the last minute or two, I had just removed it and made the move, and it looks like I could do the same thing. 2 days in a row. Alright, let's focus on the low. So the low is 18 at the moment. Yeah, this is not easy, guys. This is what I mean about the volume at the moment. It did a very similar thing yesterday, JJ. I was on the call with the VIP group. We had a sell lined up. Look at that gap down the last second. Up wick. It's really not easy, guys, to be honest. So I'm going to remove this zone and I'm going to now adjust it to that point. Yeah, GJ is difficult. Raymark, next entry, potentially on gold. I mean, GJ is making the move just now, but got an upper wick on the 15. That thing did gap down in the last few seconds of the candle itself. See if it's evident on the minute. Not quite. This would be a break-even trade for me either way. It definitely would be a break-even. I think I would have just been stopped out. So it's all good. Right up, this is awesome. Glad you appreciate it, my friend. Gonna be doing it on the daily, Monday to Friday. That's the other thing, guys. I will be streaming Fridays. Thank you for the heart, my friend. Appreciate it. Yeah, there you go. So we've definitely been out break even on this one. So nothing venture, nothing gained, nothing lost, all good. So now my next plan for potentially on GJ, if we reject, and if we were to perhaps close back bullish above this support, I'm gonna have possibly a 15-minute bullish engulfing candle, leaving a long wick into the range below, and that would definitely be enough of a catalyst to look for the buy option. Pepe analysis. To be honest, man, this is more Forex stream. And if I am to look at crypto, I'm more to look at the, the majors, obviously Bitcoin, ETH. I'm currently stuck in some swing trade longs that are in drawdown on WIF. Been stuck in the trade for before I ended the stream last year. But it's all good. It's nothing major. It's not a huge position. So. But yeah, let's try to stick to the major pairs if we are to talk crypto. Don't want to piss off the OGs on YouTube, to be honest. We're here for the Forex trade. Let me look at GU, guys. Surprised no one's really mentioned it. Jimmy Bob, James, good to see you on the call, my friend. Welcome back.
Thanks, Word.
How's things?
Smashing, thanks. How are you this morning?
Very well, my friend. Very well.
I say this morning, this evening.
This evening, yes. Well into the evening here, almost 7 p.m. But all is well. Had a productive day. Smashed the gym session, which is always good. Yeah, happy to be here. Back for the first stream. How's the volatility at the moment? Bit all over the shop, isn't it?
And it's quite nice watching it and not being anything, isn't it?
Yeah. Seeing things spike and then pull away back in the opposite direction very quickly.
I don't remember this. I don't remember this happening in previous years, where even by the 8th of Jan, it was still like this.
Yeah. See, I'm not too aware because, to be honest, I'm not usually on the charts until, like I said, the mid part of the month because I just don't trust it. So usually it's the time I do back testing and come up with some new entries. But from memory, I know the first week's like this. I'm not sure about the second week, but I don't really trust it until I'm convinced everyone's back at work, all the bots, all the family funds and all that are back, switched on and all that. which I think could be probably next week.
Yeah, you would think, you would have thought that was this week. But yeah.
You would have thought so, but who knows? They might be slowly pushing those back on. Looking quickly at NASDAQ. Difficult to sell it from where it's at because you're selling into support, but what you do have is this minor resistance form within the current day's candle at the high. Now what it could do is one of two things. If it reapproaches that level, it could break it just to grab a little bit more liquidity. Don't be fooled and just buy it. Wait for it to pull back, retest, and if it begins to pull away from it, that's your entry. Reason being I prefer to wait for that is because if it pulls back and doesn't continue up and doesn't respect this level, that could just be a liquidity grab in order for it to continue down, because obviously this week so far it is moving to the downside. Broke the high of the previous weekly candle and is now flipped back bearish. So that is as far as what I'd be looking at in regards to the buys. Otherwise, buys from lower down and sells are difficult unless you look to sell it from, like I mentioned, higher up. This is quick, very quick TA on NAS. YouTube guys, if we could smash the like button. It's been a pretty good showing today, first day back on YouTube, more than what I had anticipated, to be honest, so I appreciate it. Sean, just question at chart, mate, just want to get your thoughts. Sorry, did you send a chart? Or are you talking about NAS? Oh, okay. Yep. Let me check it out. I don't remember how to do this properly. All right. I think I've mucked that up, haven't I? All right, so we've got pound yen on the hourly. Would you not say this is grabbing liquidity from here, knocking out lows and going to go up more? Yes, potentially. That's why I've mentioned that we could be looking for some buys. That could be just doing it so right now. It could have been involved in some sells. So had you have somehow gotten in right below this blue zone, you would have had enough to take some profit off the table. But for me, obviously, didn't really have the confirmation. Was not going to take impulse coming from the highs without any upper wick. And unfortunately, just the counter formations weren't too friendly for me to get involved just here, which would have been break even. But if we do pop up in the next 5 minutes and 45 seconds, then yes, that well could be just the liquidity grab. And that could be options for a definite valid buy, in my opinion. Sellers, but oh, okay, not those. Yep, nice one. Natty Nats, thank you for the follow. Almost at 1,000 followers on TikTok. Mighty Star Productions, John, Ivan, Positive Vibes, Wheezy, where have I been? I've been away for, well, haven't actually been away, but I've not been streaming over the holiday period. Don't trust the lack of liquidity, the volume in the market. Don't trust it. So I take the time off. I do some back testing. Just did some sim session with the members as well. Sim sessions. So yeah, that's where I've been. Still been on the charts, but not the live charts, not really. Only in the last 2 days. See, welcome back. Thank you, and welcome to you. Nags, I agree with full margin. Well, after the 15th. After the 15th, margin is fair game. Flip it. Great call on GJ. Yeah, so let's see if we can get some options to buy it now. Let's mention what stop loss potentially could be. The 30, you're looking at about 26 pips once you count the spread. Off the 15, it's the same. Likely to be the same. Because the entry for me would have to be above that counter high. I want to see it close back above it. I want to see a low wick, seeing his session open. Has to be perfect because this time of year, again, bit of a funny bugger. Okay, price action formulates and moves. And once again, lower risk. So far the high of the current M15 is the high of the M30, I think. So be looking for entries just above that 20 psychological number, so about 20.205 ish. .206 to be exactly a pip and a half. Sean, EJ kind of the same. GJ maybe better for the buys. Let me quickly look at that. Let me get that in before session open. Yep. Very similar. So I don't want it to close below. I want it to close above to confirm that we're back above it. Back above what was previous support, but also previous resistance. Positive vibes. What is the general things you look out for before investing? Tips for first timer. Well, to be honest, mate, what I'm doing now is not investing, it's trading. It's not really for investors, to be honest. It'll be too high risk for most investors. As far as an investment, I do invest long term in some commodities and some metals and a little bit of crypto, not a great deal. Stock market is too overpriced. I was going to get in, but I missed my opportunity last year on some value stocks. I didn't get my opportunity, so I'm just waiting for that bubble to burst. But I look for something that's preferable tangible, so precious metals, like something that can actually, it's liquid, so you can easily and quickly, you know, sell it if needed, and it's something that will be accepted worldwide as well. So if I was to take my gold or silver overseas, you'd be able to cash in everywhere and should be able to get spot price. Now, I've been lucky enough to be buying silver from quite a low price, so I'm well up on my silver stack at the moment. Don't have much gold. I wish I had a lot more. Working on that, but that's what I would recommend. Do your own research. All right, so we're closing below on GJ. A bit difficult at the moment, and gold, we're kind of just run out of steam. Not much happening on the gold at the moment. Oh, maybe not. GJ is trying. Back at that blue zone. Long upper wick. Yeah, it's not strong enough. Again, I'm one thing you'll learn from me, guys, is I am very strict. Probably the most disciplined, if not one of the most disciplined traders that you'll see, especially on stream. So if I call, for instance, I want it to close above, I stick to that. I'm gonna just jump in now because I see it about to pump. It didn't tick my box. It'd be breaking my rule. So that's one thing you learn, because the majority of this game is about having the patience and discipline to stick to your plan and follow your rules, and not get tempted and, you know, jump into anything else out of FOMO. That was the hard lesson I had to learn. That's a lesson a lot of traders will eventually have to learn in order to become a steady, consistent, competent trader. Positive advice, thanks for the clarification, all good. Do you trade depending on what, based on volume? Oh, gold popping just now. Oh, GJ, sorry. I just trade 2 pairs because I'm familiar with the way they move. I'm comfortable with the way they move. They tend to have enough volume to give me my, you know, little scalps in the market that I'm aiming for. Also gold, but right at the moment it's not really at any, not giving me any confirmation at all. DJ is trying to give me confirmations, but it's playing a little bit hard to get. Yeah, and look at this. So it's popped back down. This is the unpredictability of trading at this time of year. Sean, all good. I appreciate you for joining. Thank you very much. Great to have you back on stream, mate. And I hope to catch you again tomorrow if you're about. Meme Hopcoin, welcome to you. Lucas Marsh, I bought GBP yen. I didn't think it could push. Well, look, hopefully you bought it from a bit lower down. I'd be targeting 197.40. It's just the logical destination it could head to. It's the most recent resistance that we've, you know, it's the area we've come from, that consolidation. That's what would be my target. And prime example right now why I don't just jump into half-assed entries would be pulled back into about a 6-7 pip drawdown by the looks of it. I'd have taken the entry. Oh yeah, discipline is key. Looking forward to the NY call, first NY call for the year with the members. Another sunny summer day here in Melbourne. It's been quite a warm summer. We've got 30 to 35 for the next 4 or 5 days. The whole week the outlook's around 30, so had a couple of days of 40 on the weekend, which was not very pleasant. There you go, there's the weather update. Alright, GJ trying to pop back up. It's looking at a 5 minute. Looks very nasty. I'll look at it in a 5 minute. Alright, so gold. This is what now I want to see on gold. Seeing we are now picking up a bit of volume at the moment. We were to reject and pop into this back in the range below. What I'd like to see, but doesn't have to happen. Obviously, can do whatever it wants. What I'd like to see is this. Now, I'm not taking it based on 15 because we've not done anything. Well, I don't think we've done anything to. Well, perhaps we have. We close below, we've formed support, and we're breaking it. So that's what we need to see. We need to see closure below on the 15. Now, the other option would be if the 30 closes below, and within it you got a minus support in the 15. And then you enter as it breaks the minus support. That's maybe a second 15-minute candle. There's your entry on the next M30. So now let's focus on gold. And let's focus on the 15-minute time frame. Roxanne, welcome to you. So this is what we're now waiting on, gold. If it happens to melt just now, and the issue could be a massive stop loss, then we need to wait for it to set up yet again. That's where waiting for that 15-minute pause will come into effect. Because the last thing we want this to do is just melt just now, because you can have a massive stop loss. We'll eat into the margin as well. Alright guys, so looking for gold sells. Look at GJ now, by the way. You can see it on the MetaTrader. Experience, discipline, patience. Spare the loss. So, as per what the rule was for GJ, but in the opposite direction, this candle has to close below that blue zone. And I want to see the new candle tap into it, reject it, and that would be enough for me to take a sell. That's what we're currently waiting for, guys. In just under 8 minutes. Edwin, is this gold? Yes, most definitely is. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Appreciate it. Getting close to 1k follows now on TikTok, so appreciate the support, guys. Quickly look at 5-minute time frame. All right, so we can see we've got a bit of support just here, so therefore that's exactly why I also want to see a 15 close below, because if we do close below, we'll be entering below that 5-minute support as well. It's very clear on the 5-minute below that level also. So for me, it's a must. It is the rule that I will stick to. 15 has to close below, and then the entry will be below the catalyst low. Catalyst low.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Franco. Welcome.
Hi.
How's
How are
things?
you, Justin?
All good, mate. All good. And you?
Yeah, also thank you very much. So
That's good.
You mentioned earlier, so no one is looking on GU. So quite difficult to trade right now
Oh, God, look at that.
on GU.
Yeah,
So,
very
not
difficult.
easy. Yeah, but right now I'm waiting until we close below the support, which is created here on the 30 time frame, and maybe take some sells.
Just here?
Yeah, correct.
Yep. Okay.
But at least I would have maybe a 15-minute pause.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be nice if there was a little bit of a pause prior to it, because it's come from
Correct.
back at the Asian session highs basically. Wow, this is melting. There's a heap of volume.
Yeah, EU is also pushing down.
Yeah, the majors are selling off. So the big day also, guys, the news. We do have ADP to come. FOMC members speaking as well. Unemployment claims. So it is a big day for those trading into MI session. But perhaps a bit of a sell-off prior to it. Perhaps but then they know what the news could potentially be. And it could be favorable for the US dollar. Fundamentally, US dollar is the best of a bad bunch at the moment, because all the major currencies around the world are just really, really weak. Thanks, yeah. That was a good call to stay out, GJ. So we're just gonna wait 3 minutes and we could have potential sells on gold. Squeezy's gold buying? No, I'm looking for a potential sell. Zeri, yep, down. But again, with the erratic sort of nature of price action at the moment due to what I believe is a lack of liquidity, seeing some little gaps in the market which you don't normally tend to see so much of on the lower time frames. And the way it counters popping up and down, I really want to see the closure below. And if not, and if it just melts on the next candle, so be it. So be it. Tommy, nice one. In sells from 2650, yep, based on a little theory that we're practicing. Something I've definitely been keeping a big eye on. Interesting to see how it goes, my friend. Sure, we'll chat about if you might not be up though. NY. John, thank you for the follow. All right, guys, so just over a minute left and we're popping back down. So once again, what I suggest doing is, if you were and you're in agreement of this potential entry, suss out what the lowest point of the catalyst candle is. Once you got the confirmation, so get your entry potentially ready. I'm using magic keys, so it makes it a lot easier for me to set up the entry. I'm not gonna confirm the entry, but what I'm gonna do is set tentatively a pending order 2 pips below the low on gold. So the low on IC markets is 2650.46. We'll be looking at 2650.26. It's a potential entry point if I am to get the right confirmation. Stop loss would have to be above this counter high. We have 30 seconds remaining and it has to close below the lowest point of this blue zone, guys. That is the criteria. You'll try FMY, all good, mate. Let's see. Strictly rule-based trading, guys. That's what we get on this stream. And has not done so. All right. Much we can do. Has no upper wick. Interesting. Now, if this candle breaks the low of the previous candle, in terms of just a pure price action potential trade, if it was after breaking a low to then flip and create up a wick, it's a little bit premature just now. It's pulled back up just now. But if it was to do what I was doing, but prior to doing what it's doing just now, if it broke the low or tapped into the low of the previous candle, then rejected and come back down, that is something I would consider. Just based purely on price action. But in all honesty, I would have rather it pop down a little bit further. Let's look at a 5 minute. 5 minutes, pretty strong bullish on the previous candle. What we've got in the 5 minute. A little bit of structure for me. Got a high, high, low, lower, low. Lower high, sorry. Lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. If we can close bearish engulfing on the 5 minute, we've still got the 15 minute prior to a closing bearish. That could be enough of a catalyst. But at this rate, look what we're doing. Remy boy, gold. Looking at gold at the moment. Pet G, thank you for sharing the live. I really appreciate it. Symbols, thank you for the follow. Remy boy, bet, yep. Big dog, how successful have I been? Well, training has helped me to achieve a lot of things in life. Consistency, I have been a consistent trader probably since about 2021. I've seen some really steady results. How do you measure success though? That's the thing. To me, a measure of success is being consistent, confident, and just trading based purely off what you see and reacting to what you see, not emotions, things like that. And last year, I did not have one losing month. I had 1 month that I think it was basically, I saved it towards the end. I think it was December, wasn't it, guys? I'm pretty sure. No, it wasn't December. It was a great month. What am I talking about? I didn't take a loss. November, I'm pretty sure, where could not buy a win the first 2 weeks, or week and a half, and then barely, I don't think I took a loss after it. So yeah, I mean, last year was a fantastic year of consistency. The stream record was right on 80%. I'm quite strict with trade management as well. So I think I'm, quite successful. Smarties, not with not on YouTube, not on TikTok, just with the VIP. Chunk King. Sorry. Remy boy, just start learning trading. Yeah, take your time with it, mate. Be very patient with it. Patience is really, I know they say in everything, patience is of virtue, but more so even in trading. People trade a lot based on their emotions, not what they see, and don't react to their plan. They just see gold moving down, right, I have to buy it. Just be patient with it. Learn about, because there's so many ways you can skin a cat as well. So scalping may not be for you. You may find you're getting too emotional, being, on the lower time frame, seeing price action move quite quickly. You might decide swing trading's, suits you best. For me, it's the opposite. Swing trading was too emotional for me. Waking up of an evening, checking my trade. Prior to going to bed, I may be in some significant profit. Waking up halfway through the night, checking it. Sometimes back or break even, sometimes a little bit of profit, sometimes in some drawdown. I just wasn't for me, holding trades for such a long time. So you need to determine what, resonates with you. There is, again, so many ways you can skin a cat. There is many different ways you can go about trading. I concentrate purely on price action at certain levels. I obviously use fair value gaps, indicators, all sorts. I can literally, I've said it so many times, I can trade just based off that very, very easily. It's just good to have a visual where we are at, certain levels on the chart. So yeah, hopefully you'll find what I do is quite something you might be able to, make work for yourself. So stick around on the calls and I'm sure you'll learn quite a lot. All right, so no margin, but gold looks pretty good if it does continue now and respect this previous resistance. Once again, spared potential loss. 30 looks an absolute mess. It is tricky this time of year. TikTok, what else have I missed? Manen, how long been trading? Been trading since 2017, so this is my 8th year. Chunking, isn't that gonna go down into the bullish fair value gap? What on gold? On what time frame? See, I don't trade fair value gaps. And what you'll find is often they line up with levels of support, resistance, and that as well. So, like, I kind of understand it, but I just don't trade it. I don't like what I do is not broke. It works for me. So why tinker with it too much? The only thing I do is fine tune things on maybe looking at, for instance, gold now. I look more on a 5-minute as opposed to what I would normally have done last year. Big Dog, what made you get into it and how did you learn how to do it? So what made me get into it was the fact that I didn't want to be, stuck here in Oz. I wanted to be able to, be what I wanted to be. That is overseas. So because of that, I need to learn something. I could make some money, remotely. And I always was interested in investing, not so much trading. I wasn't aware of trading or how to trade or anything. But then I thought, it sounds quite interesting. Come across crypto, obviously, as most do. Started with that, got absolutely wrecked, as most do. Through a couple of Forex accounts as well. I was introduced to Forex through crypto, through my first master group, I suppose you call it. Yeah, and then I joined, obviously, the last group I was with, where I quickly became a mentor of that group as well. Not after, only about a year and a half, 2 years. And I learned a lot from that, but amongst it, I've come up with a lot of entries myself and changed a lot of things around. Have some strict rules, a lot of rules, which didn't really have back in any of the other groups. And it just works for me. So now I have my own group. And I really, really enjoy coaching, helping the guys out. Seen some fantastic results. And looking at gold now, we could get an option, guys. 15 is rejecting the 5-minute. Now looks like similar to what GJ was looking like before, in a series of lower highs. Gold is potentially doing the same, so keep an eye on it. Waiting for the 15 closure. Want it to close near its low. Don't want to leave long wicks. If it closes near its low, then what we have done is rejected. We've tapped into this level, this previous resistance. Also pop obviously back above the current resistance into the minor range above it. We were to reject, close close to our low. That would suggest that perhaps we've grabbed that extra needed little bit of liquidity for us to make the move back down towards this support. So that is potentially what I could be looking at on gold. I need to wait. It's under 5 minutes. Joe, good day to you. Happy New Year to you too. Welcome, my friend. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm assuming you sent that in a while ago because yeah, look at it now, rejecting. Orange original VIX still do BTC, anything marked up. Just don't have time for it, to be honest. I do trade crypto or swing trade, but I want to actually start scalping it because for the most part, the way I analyze, especially gold, it would work out on BTC from what I see. But for me, BTC is at a very, well, it really needs to respect 90k, and if it doesn't, and I think you could see a much bigger sell-off. Just stuck in a range, cooling down. It's now in that accumulation phase where it's just gathering orders, and I'd be very bullish on it. I still think it could end up, you know, creating another all-time high soon. But again, that 92k region is quite critical. I don't want to spend too much time on it though. Let's focus on gold, guys. Zane, thank you for the follow. Anthony, what time frame you trade gold? Well, multiple time frames I look at, from the weekly down to the 5 minute. That gives me general direction. Analyst is generally on the 30 minute and the 15 though. All right, it's not in 3 minutes, guys. Keep an eye on this. Relax gold, long or short gold. I'm looking for a short at the moment. Well, not right now, but after the closure of this 15-minute candle, potentially. Big dog. Yeah, well, make sure to join the streams regularly, my friend. You will learn a lot from them. And again, you know, can decide for yourself that's something that resonates, that you might be interested in taking a little bit further, and then you're welcome to message me. But dude, guys, send me a message anyway, because I have a free Discord group and you're more than welcome to join, be active in it, engage with it, in it, ask questions. I've also got obviously the VIP group. But yeah, you're gonna learn a lot just from joining the live calls on the regular. B3 FA long gold. I'm looking for a short, but I don't want to melt just now. This is, and it's pretty tough at the moment. I'm not comfortable enough to say right now we are trending to look for a limit order. That's the move. It's again not a great deal we can do about that, unfortunately. Vin? No, well, it's pretty much made a move now. So you had to have just trusted it on the break. And now look at it bounce again. Not quite tapped into the 5 minute support. Yeah, very, very difficult. Entries at the moment need to be taken on impulse, and they're not really giving you a minimum of 10. That one in itself would not have been a win. It would have been break even yet again. So yeah, and that's why you need to be really strict with it, guys. Because not only, you know, it might mean you don't take a win, but more importantly, it stops you from taking a loss. And you kick yourself if you break your rules and you take a loss. That's the worst feeling when it comes to trading. So I'm not bothered by that. Again, would have likely been a break-even trade because I only had about, once count spread, 7 pips on the table. Next, similar entry on GJ. Set up, but no entry. Yeah, rejection and that support. Um, 26.47 close every. That's where it potentially could come down to if it decides to reject the current zone that it's at. Feel it needs to get through this 5-minute support, and it's very high probability it's coming back down to that level, and that's where you can look for the buy options and sells from below it. But look at this right now, guys. So hopefully you guys didn't just jump in when I said I was looking at a sell without the confirmation. I never said sell it, so hopefully you were listening, paying attention, and now you've saved yourself being stuck in some significant drawdown. The reason why 90+% of traders fail in this game is because they have no patience. Plain and simple. Trading is not that difficult. Hardest part is just sitting on your hands, in all honesty. Thank you for all the follows, guys. For real, 82. Less to move. Smooth, sorry. Moving. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Tell you what, it's rather warm sitting in front of the monitors on the PC at the moment. So GJ right now is literally in the middle of nothing. Now, multiple times, and this once again, this is free education, guys. Multiple times we can see just here, we have rejected this zone. So the probabilities and the likelihood that price is going to continue down are quite significant based off that. But just because we continue to do so doesn't mean I can just sell it, because I see, for instance, this candle popping up to create upper wick, and I'm going to say myself, right, I'm going to sell it because we're popping back up again. But I don't yet have that confirmation, because what could happen is price could obviously just continue, close back bullish, and we end up back at, you know, this resistance. So I can't sell it based on what I think is more likely to happen. I need to simply just wait patiently for my confirmation. And if this rejected, for instance, if this candle rejected and rejected, giving me enough margin, giving me a bit of a catalyst, plain and simply I don't have the margin because of where this support formed. But had we had, for instance, clean candles down, we had a bullish candle, and from this support pop back up to the resistance where we rejected, this is where I look for my catalyst. I know this zone is where I can look for my signal. I can't just trade what I think will happen. I need to wait for the confirmation. There is one particular entry which I introduced last year, and I've slightly adjusted it this year, and that's based off a limit order at the 4-hour zones. If you stick around here on a regular, you'll learn a little bit about that if and when it presents. Phenom, thank you for the follow. Paul Me Alia, thank you for the follow. Where do you think gold will go? Chosen one. Again, where I think it go and where it goes, I mean, it's anyone's guess in a moment. No one has a crystal ball, but personally, I'm bullish on gold. Personally, I think gold will continue to, you know, trend upwards. Look, I'm not expecting the same sort of returns as last year on it. Last year, I think it was 27%. off move to the upside by the end of the year. I think prior to the inauguration of Mr. Donald Trump, I think gold will push a little bit. Then I think it's going to pull back. Once it's definitely confirmed that he's back, I think gold is going to drop a little bit, make a nice pullback, probably giving some good longer term options to actually invest. But just look, it depends who you ask. I listen to different fundamental analysts and economists. Some are saying gold and precious metals in general will pull back this year. Some are saying they will continue up, but not the same rate as last year. But they all have come to the exact same conclusion, and that is, you know, 5, 10, 15 years from now, it's going to be a hell of a lot higher than what it is. So that is why I personally invest in gold and silver. Not investment advice, but my opinion. 179, thank you for the follow. Hollywood Crypto, thank you for the follow. Person one, I give it a few years, gold will go up and dollar will fall soon. Yeah, I agree with that. But having said that, all the other majors are even worse off than gold, than US dollar. Man, oh man, look at this. It's just very choppy, very difficult price action at the moment. No, it will go up? Possibly. Shows what you mean right now. Well, the way this candle is forming, and if it closed very strong bullish, there's a high probability it will continue up. But we've got to get through some resistance. The issue with this is it could easily pop up to this point here, reject, and then we come back down and we're just consulting. So we need to ask ourselves a few things. And this is something I say to members always. What do you want to see? You got to ask yourself, what do you want to see to give you a confirmation? So what is the rule? What type of catalyst are you waiting for at a level of interest? So on this occasion, you're potentially looking at bullish engulfing candle. That's the strongest probably catalyst you can have. Then you got to ask yourself is, you know, where are we on the chart? So do we have clean traffic to the left? Are we at a level of resistance or support, or is there consolidation to the left? You know, what is the deal? And then, you know, yeah, do you have the margin? In this case, we don't. You need to ask yourself all these questions, and once you have the experience, you find it just doing it instinctively. It's good to have it at the beginning jotted down on a bit of paper, just so you can, you know, remember what you need to ask yourself prior to any entry. But with experience, you don't need to, you just know it. Naeem. My first ever mentor name was Naeem. Yeah, the 4 hour does look good to potentially continue up. Potentially, and if you are to trade off the 4 hour, then you could almost be in a trade right now. You probably should have been in one from that point a while ago. Been sat through a bit of drawdown, but you'd be in some little bit of profit at the moment. But I don't trade off the 4 hour, because if I was to trade off the 4 hour, what I'd have to have is a wide stop loss, wider target. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm not keen on holding trades for all that long. I don't like to swing trade. So it's not an entry for me. Tell you what, guys, all this free education, I think, deserves a few likes, a few follows if you haven't done so. Not every day is going to be a trading day, and especially the first few weeks of the new year. Like I mentioned earlier, I usually don't trade until 15th, 16th of January. Alright, yeah, so on that note, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go relax a little bit. I've got a date with the members for pre-MY a little bit later on. Like I said, if you haven't followed, follow me, because I will be back same time tomorrow. I start YouTube, I start quarter to 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is 6:45 a.m. UK time. TikTok, I start it usually about 5-10 minutes after that, just because for whatever reason, when last few times I've done analysis, I've been banned. Not sure what that's about. But yeah, guys, great to be back. YouTube, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your patience over the last few weeks. Thank you for not forgetting me. And looking forward to a massive year. Look out, keep a lookout, follow me on all social media outlets, IG as well, guys. If you want to know more, send me DMs on either IG, whatever, TikTok, and I'll happily share with you some information. If you want to say hello, I always reply. So guys, once again, appreciate you all for joining. Members, I will see you in a few hours from now.
Cheers, bro. See you shortly.
Will do.
Thank you, man.
Cheers,
See you
guys.
later.
Catch you later, and everyone else, I shall see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Looking forward to it. Bye, my friends. Have a good one. See you, TikTok.